You're live.
Oh, good. All right. Good evening, everyone. How is everybody? Yay. Where are all the guys? Oh, my goodness. Me and a handful of women. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay, so no gross stuff, right, Lisa?
No gross.
Okay, we did that last time. So I want to welcome you guys to the immunity workshop. Really, the purpose of this is I really want you guys to not live in fear of viruses and flus and colds. I really want to get down to more of the truth about what all those are and the fact that we do have an immune system that was created to fight these things. I actually want to start by reading this quote to you guys because I think it's amazing. This is actually written by B.J. Palmer back in the 50s, who was one of the co-founders or founders of chiropractic. So this makes a lot of sense. While other professions are concerned with changing the environment to suit the weakened body, chiropractic is concerned with strengthening the body to suit the environment. That makes so much sense to me. Why would we want to keep a body weak and then just give it medications or vaccinate it to make it so it doesn't get sick versus why don't we just make the body stronger? Why we're focusing on the wrong thing in the medical community and healthcare sciences when we really should be focusing on how can we make you stronger? So 2.5 years ago is when, stuff hit fan, right? And everybody freaked out. And I had a lot of patients coming to me saying, Dr. Moss, what do I do? I said, well, those 5 things I've been talking about for the last couple of years, you've been a patient, those 5 essentials, are you doing them? Well, I'm doing some of them. I'm like, well, if you were doing all of them and you understand this, you shouldn't be asking me any more questions. You shouldn't be afraid. So I'm going to tell you right now, I've never closed my offices. Never once did I close our doors for COVID. I've never put a mask on. You've never seen my staff wear a mask. None of us are vaccinated. We are part of the control group, okay, and very proud of it because we don't live in fear. We know what a virus is. We know, guess what? God created viruses. He also created you to have an immune system to fight those viruses. And when I understand how important that immune system is and how to strengthen it, why would I be afraid? The unfortunate thing is too many people watch the news and believe the experts. And why are we trusting other people? I'm getting ahead of myself here. I've already done half the workshop, and I've already done the slides past. Okay, so really the mission of Max Living is to help people live a healthier lifestyle. Because right now, what healthcare means is do nothing to prevent you from getting sick. Because eventually, if you do nothing to prevent getting sick, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get sick. Just like if you never change your oil, you will break down. It's not if you're going to break down, it's when will you break down. Same thing happens with our body. If we're not doing something proactively to prevent us from getting sick, it's not if, it's when. And when you get sick, when you lose your health, we all are supposed to go see who? The doctor, because that's what we're told to do. And then they're going to do tests and spend lots of money just to figure out what drug that you need to be on now to continue to survive. That is suiting the weakened body. Why not make the body stronger for the environment? Makes sense, right? So my whole mission of Max Living is to steer people down what I think would be a better path, one that's more proactive, one that you take responsibility for your health. And when you do that, you should not be living in fear. You should not be worried about what the next thing is. And what is our current state of health right now? We're sicker than ever. We are sicker than ever. More people are getting sick. More people have heart disease. More people have diabetes. More people have cancer. And unfortunately, over the past 2.5 years, there's more mental health issues than ever before. Anxiety is through the roof. Depression, through the roof. Suicides, off the chart. I mean, it is awful. And it comes down to those people are scared. One, they're watching the wrong thing, like the news. Don't watch the news. But they don't have the faith. They are living in fear. And as you're going to learn later, what happens when you're scared? You're stressed. And if you're stressed, guess what happens to your immune system? Down the tank. Okay? So again, we don't want to do that. So who are we trusting? So it's funny, if you go to a doctor's office right now, guess what you still have to put on? What in the world are they doing? You know why? You ask them, why? COVID's over, right? Like, why are you still putting masks on? Well, according to the CDC, I'm like, okay, who the hell? Why the hell is anybody listening to them still? Because under the CDC, who is the trusted body of the government, this is what's happened to America. I'm going to read each one of these. We have one of the highest infant mortality rates of all industrialized nations. Almost half of our children have at least one chronic disease diagnosis. Pediatric cancer is the leading cause of death after accidents. 1 in 7 children are on an antipsychotic medication. 1 in 6 children are learning disabled. 1 in 12 children suffer with asthma. 1 in 5 children are diagnosed with an emotional, mental, or behavioral disorder. 1 in 5 are not overweight, they're obese. 1 in 13 have allergies, and right now it's 1 in 59 children have autism. Guys, a lot of us are the same age, like 32, right? Yeah, we're all 32. Do we remember growing up with people that had autism? It was so rare that it wasn't very, you didn't know it if it happened. Now, everybody has autism. Everybody's on the spectrum. It's not because they're losing the reins of the diagnosis. We've been doing something wrong. Our children are growing up in an environment that is causing more problems. And why are we okay with this? I'm not okay with this. Are you guys okay with these statistics? No, then why the hell are we listening to the people that are allowing this to happen? We shouldn't be. Okay? So even this is the CDC. They have, I'm going to read this to you. There was a ethics complaint lodged by a dozen of senior scientists at the CDC. And they said the CDC was being influenced at all levels by corporate and political interests in the way that shortchanges taxpayers. The pervasive nature of unethical practices throughout all levels of the CDC. These are whistleblowers. What most people think is the CDC is a government agency funded by our taxpayers for research to make sure that we all stay healthy. No, it's to make vaccines. They are a vaccine manufacturing company. They do not have our best interest in mind. They have money in mind. And what you'll see is these people go to the CDC, and when they leave, guess what they get hired to do? They are head of Pfizer. They're head of this person. They're head of they all work for the pharmaceutical companies. So why are we trusting these people? I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that. And what is it doing? It's causing a culture of fear. And the easiest way to manipulate somebody to do something that you want them to do is through fear. And when everything happened back March of 2020, it was weird. We get it. Everybody was freaked out. I was a little like, what the hell is this? What is really going on here? And then I realized what was going on. It didn't take me long to figure out this is a fear-based tactic to make sure that everybody gets a vaccination. It's all about control. And I don't know what the hell's in that vaccination, but I'm not getting it. And I had a friend of mine that was a patient who I told him my theory. Guess what he called me? A conspiracy theorist. It's funny because conspiracy theorists are wrong until they're right. Right? Now we look back on, he's like, you're right. I'm like, I know. I can see through the BS a lot quicker than some other people because my blinders are off. Okay, now again, you know where I came from. Blinders fully on, medical school bound. Okay, so I think a lot differently now. And before COVID, it was 2019, I held a workshop right here about the immune system, just like right around this time of year, 3 years ago. I have an excerpt from that I'd like to play for you. Oh, we need to make sure we have volume. Oh, I guess I can do that here. Actually, maybe I'll go through. Hold on. Okay, let's do this again. I got it. Ready?
Do a disease out there. It's called Ebola. You guys heard of this one? Yeah, it's an airborne disease that spreads through conversation, entering your brain through your ears. Yeah. It's even so contagious. Some victims have been contracted just by seeing images with Ebola. It's kind of ridiculous, right? All right. And the reason why I put this up as a joke, but it's true, because everybody freaks out about every little thing they see on the news. It's a flu epidemic. Oh, here. Then it's a swine flu. Then it's the bird flu, H1N1. They have names for all of them, so that you guys talk about it. And then they have SARS. And right now, what about the measles outbreak? Everybody's freaked out about all these things, right? So I just don't understand why we're so afraid of these things. God created these diseases, these bacteria created these viruses. Well, guess what he also did for you? He created your immune system to protect you from these things. If you live in fear, what are you going to do? You're going to avoid other people. You're going to avoid going to gatherings with your family, gatherings with the community. Now, I'm not afraid of viruses because I know how to make my immune system strong. Now, I'm not telling you that we should go out and lick the handles of the grocery cart. That's ridiculous. But I don't want you to live in fear of disease.
I watched that the other day just preparing for this. I got a little creeped out by the fact that I kind of told you what's going to happen 4 months before it happened. Social distancing, wearing masks, all about the news. Weird, right? Because it follows a formula. Create the fear, get them to do what you want them to do. It's just do. It happens every time. Weird. So I don't want you to live in fear, truth over fear all day. So these are some truths that I really want you to pay attention to. These are some of the themes we're going to be talking about. And I'm going to be honest, if you understand these truths and you own this and you live your life by these truths, your life is going to be so much better, especially when it comes to your health, but all aspects involved. So truth, your body has an innate, inborn intelligence that was put in there when you were created by God. Yes or yes? Yes. Truth, right? Okay. The next truth, your body has the power to protect you from illness. What is that called? The immune system? Is that a truth or is that a truth? Thank you. Your body has a powerful defense system. And this one is very important to me. And this one, if you actually get this, our conversations are going to be different. Your body is always doing the right thing at the right time. I want you to kind of just own that. Your body is always doing the right thing at the right time. If I asked you if this was true, a lot of you are going to be like, I don't know. You know why? Because we've been taught that our body's weak. It's wrong. You need a doctor. You're broken. You cannot fix yourself. You need medication to be healthy. And who taught us all that? Doctors taught us this. Your parents taught you this because the doctors taught them that and they taught the parents that. Okay? It is not true. Let me give you some examples. Your 6-year-old wakes up in the middle of the night with a fever. What do most people think is wrong? They have a fever, right? They have an infection. So, but if you call your doctor, they're going to say, what's the temperature? 102? Oh my God. You need to get them Tylenol. You need to get them Motrin, ibuprofen. You need to get that fever down. And listen, I'm a parent of 3. As a parent, what's the worst thing you could ever see? Your child suffer. Oh, it's the worst thing in the world, right? You would do anything to eliminate, give me your pain, I will take it for you. Every parent says the exact same thing. However, we understand that are fevers really good or are they actually bad? They are good. And when you understand why, so here's the thing. What is a fever actually doing? It's fighting. So your innate intelligence, remember, your body's always doing the right thing at the right time. So if I know that, I'm not going to fight the fever. I'm not going to think the fever is a bad thing because my body's doing what it needs to do to get healthy. Because what's it doing? It's raising the temperature of your core to kill off bacteria, kill off viruses. And when it's done killing, the immune system's got everything back under control. What's it going to do? It's going to bring the fever back down when it's ready and necessary. Okay, that makes sense, doesn't it? But what do most parents do? What do most doctors tell you to do? Bring it down, make your child feel better. It's not about feeling better, it's about healing. It's about function. So if your body needs a fever to kill off a bacteria and you cave and you give your child that medication, it artificially drops the fever, what are you allowing that virus or that bacteria to now do? Grow, replicate, get worse. Why do we think we're smarter than the power of God inside of us? Haven't you guys figured this out? I think we've all figured this. If when we mess with nature, we screw it up every time, right? Nature is always right. Nature lives inside of us as innate intelligence. Get out of the way and let the body do what it's trying to do. Here's another example. If a spider bites you, oh, have you guys seen these spiders around? Yeah. They are everywhere. I'm freaking out. I think we're going like arachnophobia mode soon. Somebody told me that each one of those spiders, those Jora spiders, has 500 babies. Yeah, I just, right? Okay. So, but let's say a spider bites you. What's going to happen to that bite? It's going to swell. It's going to get red. It's going to get hot. It might get a little pussy even, right? Okay. Well, laying next to you is a cadaver. That same spider goes over and bites it. What happens to it? Why not? It's dead. There is no life. So what does that tell you about the redness? Was it from the spider? No. What is that redness? What is that pus? What is all that? Yeah, mind blown, right? That is your body's response to a toxin that was injected. Why would we want to stop that? We don't want to stop that. But again, medical community sees that as the problem. They're very symptom-based. There's a red symptom, let's get rid of that. It's hot, let's make it cold. It's too cold, let's make it warm. We need to be normal. What the hell does normal mean anyway, right? Yeah, so again, okay, I have a third example for you because I really want to drive this home because it's, I think, probably the most important thing I could teach you, and it has nothing to do with the immune system, okay? Your body's always doing the right thing at the right time. So if you and I are going to go out to dinner after this, we're going to go get Mexican food, okay? But, yeah, look at her face. Okay, okay, now listen. Yeah, it's a Esposito thing. Okay, so we go, but we didn't know that we were going to share a dish, but somebody poisoned our dish. We don't know who did it. We didn't even know it was poisoned. I eat my half, you eat your half. 10 minutes later, I run to the bathroom violently throwing up, and you don't. Which one of us is sick and which one of us is healthy? What do you think? She's sick and I'm healthy, but wait a minute, how could I be healthy? I'm throwing my guts up.
Your body knows it shouldn't be there.
Get rid of it. Your body is always doing the right thing at the right time. If my body says, oh my God, this is awful, we need to get this toxin out of my body, run to the bathroom and get it out. Where Soph, her body was not healing and not functioning as well as it should, just as an example, and she seems fine. Is she fine? No, because her body didn't work as well as mine. It did not recognize, and what's going to happen to her? Something not good, right? Okay, but let's say right next to us at the next table is a medical doctor. Who is he going to help? He's going to help me. And what's he going to give me? Something to stop me from throwing up. And what did he actually just do to me? He killed me because he let me keep the poison in my body because he thought throwing up was a bad thing. Funny, gross. I'm sorry, I may have grossed you out again. I did. Every time I'll get you. Every time I get you. Okay. Yes. Yes. But that makes so much sense now, doesn't it? And I'm going to tell you right now, if you trust the body, ear infections, okay, they're not fun, but if you let the body do what it's trying to do, you know why it's getting red? Because it's infected. What's the redness doing? It's creating more blood cells to that area. It's more heat. What's that doing? It's killing the bacteria. Your body doesn't need antibiotics to get through an ear infection. But I know, listen, I have lots of parents that freak out. I have no judgment. You're a parent. You're going to do what you think is right for you and your child. I get it. But once you get through that first one, that first like, oh my gosh, am I really doing the right thing? And you realize, oh my God, the body can do it. It gets a lot easier, right? Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff. So these are called, the way we think about how we do things are called paradigms. We have two paradigms we're talking about here tonight. We have the medical paradigm, which is very reactive. It ain't broke, don't fix it. Wait until there's a symptom to take care of it. And then we have the chiropractic paradigm, which is very proactive, preventative. We want to make sure we're not having any problems. We trust the body to do the right thing at the right time. So the two paradigms are really based on theories. The first theory is called the germ theory. Raise your hand if you've heard of the germ theory before. Or nobody went to school? Science? Come on. Girls, no, nothing? No. Wow. Still in school? I thought that was like 7th grade something. Okay, maybe not.
Well, like where you shake your hand and you spread they do like a ultraviolet light.
Oh, it's really just more about, you guys have ever heard Louis Pasteur? Yeah. Oh, okay, okay. So he is the grandfather of the germ theory, or the father, however you want to say it. He created it. And basically what he said was, there are little microorganisms that are everywhere and they infect you and that's what makes you sick. And guess what? Most of us believe that. Most of us live our lives through that, which is why we use antibacterial soap and we're putting masks on so we don't get to pass the germs over, even though the masks do absolutely nothing, right? And you wear them like this and they come up over or they go right through. I mean, don't get me started on that, okay? So that's why we wash our hands every 2 seconds, That's because we believe the germ theory, that the germs are what get you sick. Okay, so if germs get you sick, then we need to take medication to kill the germ and don't worry about the host, the body, right? That's how it's all based upon. But however, if the germ theory really was true, there would be nobody alive to tell about it. Think about it. Somebody's in your household, one person gets sick. Does everybody in the house get quote unquote sick at the same time? Why not? How is it that people in the house, if one person had COVID, the rest of the family had nothing? If it was really a germ theory truth, then everybody would get sick at the same time. Those of you that are teachers, is everybody out of your class at the same time? No. If it was true, everybody would get sick at the same time. So why does one person get sick and the other person not? Because it doesn't have to do with the germs, it has to do with your environment. So there is a competing paradigm or theory that came around around the same time by Louis Bonchamp, and Antoine, I'm sorry, sir. It's called the terrain theory. I have to make sure it was all on there. Yeah, the terrain theory. The terrain theory basically says that germs are always present, which we should know that. They are everywhere. And they are, so whether a person gets sick or not is based upon how strong their immune system is. How healthy is the host? What is the environment that host is living in? So for example, this fish here is in a dirty environment. Is that fish going to be healthy or sick? Sick. So, okay, now it's expressing symptoms. It's got stuff going on its gills and its fins. It's not looking so high. It can't swim halfway, right? So what should you do? You should give it medication, or maybe you should vaccinate that fish to make it healthy if you think the germs are the problem. So don't change the environment. Just keep pumping it full of medication to keep it going, which is what the medical community does to us. Or we can say, hey, why don't we just clean up the fish tank? Why don't we put that fish into a clean tank, and what's going to happen to that fish now? It's going to thrive again. That is the whole thing of the terrain theory. And what's interesting about the germ theory makes you live in fear. It is kind of cut off. If it's not your fault because you got the germ, I caught the bug. So it has nothing to do with me. It's bad luck. It's very problem focused. What's the problem? Oh, you have congestion. Let's fix the congestion. Not, oh, maybe the congestion's there for a reason, right? Or I'm just a victim. It was never my fault. It's just, yeah, that's a bunch of BS, by the way, okay? Where clean the tank, the terrain theory, I feel like you have a lot more freedom. You have more faith in your body. You know that you need to take responsibility is what it comes down to, okay? Is my tank and my environment really clean? Am I doing all the things I'm supposed to do to be healthy? Because if you're not, say, I did it to myself. I allowed this to happen, and I shouldn't have, and I'm going to take responsibility for it. I'm going to make a change, and it's not going to happen again. I like being able to take responsibility, because then I know I'm not a victim, and I can make a change. Because guess what? If you're a victim, guess what? You don't take responsibility, and you can't do a damn thing about it. Don't you want to be in control of your health? I want to be in control of my health. Full control of your health. You are in control of what you're putting in your body. You're controlling how you think. You control, are you exercising? You're controlling, are you getting adjusted? Are you doing your home care? Okay, here, not my fault. Bad lot. Which one makes more sense to you guys? Clean tank? Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Yeah, good. So let's talk about the immune system now, because we do need our immune system to function well. That's what the rest of this is really all about. So what's interesting about the built-in lines of defense, you have 3 lines of defense. You have 3 immune systems, basically. Your first line of defense is your physical line of defense, or your physical immune system, basically, your physical barriers. So that's your skin, mucous membranes, okay, sweat glands. What is that doing? Excreting, getting rid of things, blocking things from happening to you. This is like having your local police, all right? Local, no big deal. Then you have your innate immune system. So you guys have heard of white blood cells before. These are your white blood cells. They can go and be diverted to different places of infection and destroy. They're called natural killer cells. I'm going to show you a video in a few minutes of them actually in action. It's really cool. They are called to destroy. This is like your state police. bigger case. Then you have something called your adaptive immune system. And your adaptive immune system is like your FBI. Okay? These guys have memory. Bless you. Oh, you all right? Okay. These guys have memory. So let's say you caught a cold once. Caught a cold, right? You hear me say that? It's not true. Yes. Catch me. So let's say you were expressing symptoms as if you had some virus, okay? Because again, viruses are everywhere. They're always here, okay? So you have a virus. Your body sends your natural lymphocyte, your natural killer cells, T cells, B cells. This part here memorizes it. So if you ever get exposed to it again, it's like, I remember this guy. We do this, and this, and he's out of here. They know how to take care of it quickly. You'll never even have an issue with it. Okay? It's when you have a new thing that you start to express those symptoms. Make sense? Pretty cool stuff. So this is a video of your, basically your immune system, the adaptive immune system, and your innate immune system at work. So these are natural killer cells, which are your white blood cells killing actual cancer cells. Just watch it all of a sudden disappear. That's happening inside of us right now. How cool. That's pretty cool, isn't it? That's happening inside of us. And do we need to think about it? Do you need to know how to make that happen? No, it just happens. That is how cool your innate intelligence that's inside of you is. It can take care of you, whether you think so or not. So viruses, what are viruses? Did you guys know viruses aren't even alive? Did you guys know that? Yeah, everybody thinks that they're like these little things that are like hiding around corners at the shopping mart and like chase you down the aisle if you go the wrong direction. Like, that was a good one. Did we get it? It's too late. 2 years ago, it would have been funny. So they are not alive. Really, they are just proteins and some carbohydrates. And what's interesting is they cannot live. They are not living. They need a host. So what they do is they basically glom onto a living cell and they inject its RNA into the ribosomes of those cells and start to have that cell, they basically hijack that cell to make their proteins now. Weird, right? Some people even say that viruses are aliens. I read that on the Inquirer in the front. Yeah. So, but yeah, so the good news is we have ways around them. You saw our natural killer cells, our T cells, our B lymphocytes. And then, viruses, everybody thinks that they're big enough to be caught by, a mask, which they're absolutely not. They are so tiny, they go right through the mask. They go right through all the things. So it's like silly. I mean, the last couple of years, this is kind of funny. Dear plexiglass, thank you so much for protecting me from the cashier who just touched every single item I'll be taking home with me. Yes, this period will now be known as the dumb ages. I mean, I had so many other pictures I could sent you. I mean, we went skiing last year. I went to a ski shop before we left, and a couple walked into the ski store with like gas masks on, with tanks on their back, and pushing a baby with like a big plexiglass, like a trash bag over it. I was like, my kids are like, Dad. I'm like, don't look, don't point, don't point, just keep walking. It's like, take a picture if you can, just keep going. Or my favorite is we were driving down to my parents' house, and there's a little old lady driving her car next to me, 2 masks on, gloves, and like a hat by herself in the car. Just my wife hanging out, taking a picture. Like, yeah, sorry, honey, I threw you under the bus there. Okay, so the good news is we have natural immunity. Your body is supposed to get the infection. Remember, you hear people saying, you know, let the kids play in the dirt. Those are the kids that are going to be healthy. Why? Because you're exposing your children to things that your body's now going to build that innate immunity to, the adaptive immune system. So if it ever gets infected later, it's already got this immune system built up. That's how it's supposed to work. Now, if I was going to get a virus, how do I get the virus? Like, how does it get in me? What do you think? How do you get the virus? What do you think? Yeah, no, you're breathing it in, right? It's going through your nose, it's going through your mouth. It is not climbing through your skin. It's not going in your ear hole, right? It's not going in your eyeball. It's going nose, mouth. It goes into your lungs. And that creates a whole cascade of events that leads to your immune system being activated. Okay? What is artificial immunity? Do you guys know what that is? Vaccines, right? Immunizations, right? So how'd they get that? How'd they inject you? They put it in your skin. They put it into your muscle, right? Is that in your mouth? No. So natural immunity goes through your mouth and has a whole cascade of events to create your immunity. How is injecting it going to work the same? It does not work the same. Don't let them tell you it does. It does not work the same, which is why you need boosters, because it doesn't work. Okay, if it really worked, you wouldn't need boosters, because it's skipping the most important part, which is actually breathing it in. So they're skipping all that, not let alone all the other stuff that's in those. But look at this. This is 1983, 30 antigens. So you were exposed to 30 different antigens or viruses by age 5. This is in 1980. This is about the time I was about 5 years old, maybe a little bit. No, it was around there. That made me feel old? No, 83. The 80s were awesome. Yeah. Okay, that's when we were kids. In 2018, 130 antigens by age 5. And I don't know if you guys heard, but the CDC this morning was voting on whether or not to put the COVID vaccination, the COVID shot on the register for kids to be vaccinated with or shot with, because it's not a vaccination. Quit calling it that. It's a shot. Just like the flu shot is a shot. It doesn't work. It's not a vaccination. It's not immunization. I don't know what the result of that was. Either way, don't get it. Craziness. And the problem here is that the federal government acknowledges vaccines as unavoidably safe. That is their verbiage. What the hell does that mean? It's so safe I can't avoid it? You think that's what it means? No, it means we're going to do it no matter what, and we hope it's safe. But because we can't avoid doing it because it's so important, and we just hope it's safe. That's really what it comes down to. But did you guys know that pharmaceutical companies have no repercussion for any injuries that are stemmed from a vaccine? Did you guys know that? So if you take your child for an immunization, they get a shot, they get a fever and get encephalitis or die from that shot, first of all, your doctor's going to say, no, it wasn't. And then you're going to go, I'm going to sue the pants off of this company. Guess what? They're immune. You can't do it. Can't do it. Why would I trust any company that has no responsibility, no repercussion? This is why I don't understand why everybody was running out to get this shot over the last year and a half or 2 years, whatever it is, when it can kill you. You have no idea what it could do. And if it does, guess what? No, not our fault. You did it. I didn't tell you you had to. Right. Craziness. This is the world we live in right now. So let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk more about our immune system. And where is most of it housed? It's actually housed in our gut. 70% of our immune system is housed in our gut. Now, was it the last workshop was the gut health? I think it was, right? Yeah, you remember that well. Yes, yes. Gross stuff, right? But 70% of it lies in our gut because this is interesting, we have more bacteria cells in our body than we do human cells. Did you guys know that? Yes, we are more bacteria than we are human. Yeah. In our gut right now, we have about 2.5 pounds of bacteria. Trillions and trillions, I think it's like 100 trillion cells of bacteria in our gut right now. And that is actually part of our immune system. It talks to each other. It recognizes bad things and it kills off the bad things. That's good bacteria that is living in our gut. That is supposed to be there. So that's important. I want you to remember that. So what happens when we take an antibiotic? What is an antibiotic designed to do? Kill. Does it just kill the bad guys? No, it's like, oh, there's a couple bad guys in the city. What should we do? Send the SWAT team to shoot that one? No, let's just nuke the city. That's what antibiotics do. I think it was like 35% of all antibiotics that were prescribed over the past few years were completely unnecessary. I mean, you can call your doctor and say, I think I have an infection. Oh, let me call you something in. They won't even examine you. They just call it in because it's like candy, because it's so easy to do. And everybody thinks it's no big deal. Guys, we all grew up thinking no big deal, right? I had the pink stuff in the door of my refrigerator at all times because when I didn't feel well, I just took a swig and I got better because I had no faith in the fact the body could heal. I thought medicine was the end all be all of all answers when it came to health. So when you take an antibiotic, it wipes out good and bad. So what did you do to your immune system? You just wiped it out. Have you guys ever known anybody to have some type of problem going on? They went and took an antibiotic. They got better. 2 weeks later, right back where they were. Sound familiar? Ear infections, stomach infection, whatever it is. Do you know why that happens? It's because they nuke the city. They killed off the good and the bad. And then when everything's gone, guess what grows back faster? The bad. Boom, you're imbalanced. Bad, it's supposed to be good, a little bit of bad. Now it's all bad, good. You're going to be sick again. The infection is going to come right back. And you're going to need more antibiotics. So now you need to be on antibiotics just to stay healthy. It's because the antibiotics weren't the right answer the first time. Okay? So we need to make sure if you are taking an antibiotic, because I have patients that no matter what I say, they're going to do it anyway. I want at least to let you know that if you do that, you need to take a probiotic at the same time. Now, you don't want to take it at the exact same time. You want to space it out at least 2 hours before or 2 hours after a dose of antibiotics. And you want to take between 50 and 100 billion CFUs of that probiotic. And I would take it for at least 6 weeks after you're done with your dose of antibiotics. Your doctor should tell you that. Should. They don't, but they should. Okay? Because if you're going to do it, you don't want to have to do it again. Do it right. Okay? So what other things destroy our immune system? Well, anything that ruins our gut. This is a little bit more of that gut health workshop. So sugar. What feeds bacteria? Sugar. So I have patients say, well, I don't eat sugar. I'm like, okay, well, let me just ask you a couple questions. What did you have for breakfast? Oatmeal. What did you have for lunch? A sandwich. What did you have for dinner? Pasta. I'm like, that's all sugar. No, it's not. I'm like, carbohydrates are sugar. 100%. That's what it is. Now, there's better carbohydrates that break down slower, and there's ones that break down faster, like white stuff breaks down a lot faster. It's worse for your gut. The complex carbs, like the brown rice and the sweet potatoes, those types of things, break down slower, so it is better for your gut, but it's still all sugar. So we need to stay away from sugar because it does destroy your immune system. And there's actually evidence that suggests that obesity impairs your immunity because it's actually, obesity is associated with low-grade chronic inflammation. If you're chronically inflamed, can your body heal and function properly? The answer is no. And everybody that I know that had COVID really, really bad, and I have a few people that I know who passed away, I don't want to be disrespectful, but it is COVID, okay? Because every single person was overweight and had what are called comorbidities. Do you guys know what a comorbidity is? A comorbidity is having more than one diagnosis at the same time. So heart disease, cancer, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes. Those are comorbidities, more than one problem at the same time. And every single person that I know that passed away from quote unquote COVID had a comorbidity. And here's the good news about comorbidities is those are usually lifestyle related. Those are your environment, what kind of fish tank you swimming in, okay? That's a good thing because guess what that means? You can fix them. You can change them. I'm empowering you to understand that you are in charge of your health. You just need to want to do it, and you need to do it. All right? Okay. So just to reemphasize some of the things we talked about, the body is a self-healing and self-regulating being. The body is designed to intelligently adapt to its environment. Very interesting. If you create a poor environment for your body, it's amazing. It'll adapt. So here's a great example. I have patients that used to eat McDonald's all the time. Hey, listen, I used to eat McDonald's all the time. Okay. And then I had this patient, that was years ago, but I had patients that would be like, okay, you know what? I want to be healthy. I want to eat better. So they listen to what I'm telling them. They're eating better. And then when they do like a month of eating well, what do they want to do? They wanted to splurge and treat themselves to a McDonald's burger. I had one person who didn't make it out of McDonald's before throwing up. And they're like, what happened? I'm like, well, your body had adapted to that poor diet and it was surviving. It was keeping you alive. Amazing that you lived this long, right? And now you're giving your body a great environment. Now it wants to be here. So when it's going there, it's recognizing how bad it was. What's it doing? Get rid of it. Now, was that person sick? No, that person was really getting healthy, right? Get it out. Yeah. The power that made the body heals the body. Did anybody see our new sign up front? Anybody see it? When you walk in, right above all the supplements, right there on the wall, it's like 7 feet long. Nobody. Amazing. Well, I put it up there. I'm proud of it because I love this saying. The power that made the body heals the body. It happens no other way. No doctor can heal you. No medication can heal you. No chiropractor can heal you. No acupuncturist can heal you. No vitamin is going to heal you. It's the power inside of you that does all the healing. Your body just needs no interference. Because if there's interference, you have no chance of being healthy. You can't heal. And then we start going down the rabbit hole of what's wrong with me? How did I get this? I need to go to a doctor. I need medication. Versus my body can heal, but what is in the way? And that's what our job is as Max Living doctors. We want to strengthen the host. How do we do this? Guys, it's the same thing every single time. It is the 5 essentials. How many of you are actually doing all 5 essentials all the time? I got 2. Me and Lisa. Very good. How many are doing 4? No, don't answer anymore. Okay. Listen, the point is, the magic happens when we actually do all 5. Some of you just started care. You're not ready for all 5. I'm not going to ask the person with the back that can barely walk to 12 minutes exercise as fast as you can 3 times a week. I'm not going to ask you to do that. I'm not going to ask you to do that, right? We're going to get there. But the faster and the more you stick to those 5 essentials, the healthier your body's going to respond, because what are we doing? We're strengthening the host. You're going to be healthier. Your body is going to respond better. So how do we do this? Chiropractic care. If your body if the brain cannot send signals to the organs, how are the organs going to function properly? They are not. So we have to reduce your subluxations, get your spine corrected, and then maintain that for how long? As long as you want to be healthy, you need to maintain your nervous system. Yeah. How about eating well? We need to eat well, right? We're going to talk about that here next. Mindset, detoxifying our brains, minimizing toxic exposure, and of course, exercise and oxygen. We're going to touch upon all those here tonight. So nutrition for a healthy immune system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the 5 most toxic foods when it comes to destroying your immune system. So let's go through these. Number 1, we already talked about it, sugar. And remember, I'm not talking about just the white stuff. I'm talking about grains. I met with a functional medicine medical doctor the other day. He said grains are basically the root of all problems when it comes to your health. They lead to leaky gut, which leads to immune problems and autoimmune diseases. If you take grains out of your diet, he said, you're going to be healthier already, just like that. And he was telling me all the things that he recommends to his patients. I'm like, that's my advanced plan. That's the stuff we teach at my office. Made me very happy. 1, that I know what I'm doing, and 2, that he's also doing that for people. and he's not a chiropractor. I was very happy to see that. So yes, sugar, grains, get them out of your diet if you really, really want to be healthy. Processed foods. Processed foods are full of what? Sugar and chemicals and preservatives and all kinds of other junk. So, you know, nitrates and nitrites and BHT and TBHQ. I mean, it goes on and on. There's just a bunch of letters. Those aren't real words. That's how you know it's a chemical derived in some lab. Refined carbohydrates, that's your white stuff. So white rice and white potato, it's not really a refined carb, but white breads, crackers, cakes, and cookies, and cupcakes, and all the stuff everybody likes to eat. Yep. Fried foods, because they're usually fried in bad fats. Now, can you fry food healthily? The answer is sure. Yeah, I like to fry chicken wings in olive oil, not olive oil, I'm sorry, don't do that. Avocado oil and coconut oil. Don't use olive oil for high heat. That brings me to that point. Very good. But usually when you go out, you're getting fried food, it's not the healthy kind of fat. And a lot of them are trans fats, and trans fats lead to immune problems and digestive issues and inflammation. And then artificial sweeteners. If you're drinking a drink that has no sugar, most likely it's sweet with something artificial. And I'm not talking about the good artificial stuff, and it's not even artificial. I'm talking about sucralose, Splenda. That stuff destroys your gut microbiome, which is your gut health. Okay, if your gut health is unhappy, guess what your immune system is? It's not working, it's depressed, it's not happy. So what kind of sweeteners should you be using? Monk fruit, stevia, xylitol, erythritol. Okay, so those are what we should be using instead. Let's talk about some things that boost your immune system. Okay, let's talk about fat. Fat is the #1 missing ingredient in the standard American diet, also called the SAD diet or SAD diet. Yes, because we do not eat enough fat. Because we've all been taught if you eat fat, you're going to get what? Right, we've all been taught this. Is it true? Absolutely not. If you eat bad fat, you will get fat. If you eat bad fat, you will get heart disease. You will get cancer. What are the bad fats? Soybean oil, corn oil, safflower. What are the other ones? What's that? Vegetable oil. That's the big one. Yeah, cottonseed oil. So, yeah, what's that? Canola. Thank you. So, yeah, Crisco. Yes, these are all bad fats. So this is why it's so important to read your ingredients of the food that you're buying to make sure that does not exist in your food. You're going to be changing some of the brands that you're buying your stuff from because it's going to be healthier. Now, I'm not going to go in depth about a lot of this food because this is an advanced workshop. Our basic workshops are our Food and Nutrition 101 workshop. So if you've not watched that yet, if you're newer to the practice, go to our YouTube channel, and it's Nutrition 101. It's about an hour long. You can watch it or listen to it. But I'm going to go in depth about nutrition only. So you're going to get more of the do's and don'ts when it comes to nutrition. So we need more quality fats. We need more good fats. And what are those good fats? Avocados, avocado oil, coconut oil. What kind of meat we're going to get good fats from? We're going to get good fats from grass-fed beef, organic chicken, and wild-caught fish. You're also going to get good fats from your nuts. So again, a lot of that's in another workshop. Antioxidant-rich foods. Antioxidants are very, very important. Antioxidants, they stop free radicals from doing damage to your cells. So at the cellular level, you're going to be healthier if you have more antioxidants in your diet. And that's really one of the best places to get it. And what's probably one of the most antioxidant-dense foods? Berries. But unfortunately, berries are also the most highly sprayed fruits there are. And when I say sprayed, I'm talking about spray with pesticides. So you're like, oh, I'm doing something good. I'm eating all 5 pounds of blueberries every day. But all those pesticides are on there, so now you actually did more harm than good. So your berries need to be organic. Organic fruits are not sprayed with pesticides, okay? So make sure you're eating lots and lots of berries. And then you have citrus fruits. Citrus fruits like your oranges and lemons and limes. What are those full of? Vitamin C. Yes, bioflavonoids. These are all awesome things for your immune system. Now, some of you are probably like, well, I drink orange juice every day. Hold your horses, right? So here's the thing. Again, everything happened for a reason. Everything was created with a design, right? And when God created these fruits, he also put a ton of fiber in them. Can you eat 10 oranges at a time?
Yes.
Will you have to go into the bathroom?
Yes.
Liar. Yes, yes. So the amount of fiber in there is balanced with the amount of sugar in there, so you will fill yourself up before getting too much sugar. That's why there's so much fiber in there. Well, man screwed that up by saying, if I could just get the juice, I'll get all the nutrients. Well, you're also getting all the darn sugar, and you're not getting any of the fiber. So I could drink 10 oranges worth of orange juice, and what do I have now? Diabetes. Right, yeah. So I mean, I had a patient of mine, I think she was like 15 or 16, and she was diabetic, and I said, so what do you eat? So I do lots of smoothies. I'm like, that sounds fantastic. Like what? Oh, banana, pineapple, mango. And I was like, oh my God, you're creating this. You're doing this to yourself. So again, we need to understand that orange juice is not the best way to get the oranges. An easy way to get a little bit of extra vitamin C during the day, a little bit of lemon juice, lime juice in your water. Nice and easy. You can even do a drop of the essential oil. It's full of all the bioflavonoids and the vitamin C. So another one, who likes garlic? Everybody likes garlic, yes. And I make sure that I never eat garlic before I come to work. You're all welcome. Okay, I do that for you. But garlic has an element in there called allicin, allicin, and it is an antibacterial. So we cook a lot with garlic. Fantastic. Nobody's going to mind that. Some people actually take a clove of garlic and chop it up and then take it and swallow it like a pill. It's very powerful. Sometimes you can even get garlic pills. We used to have, what was it, garlic and parsley pills? Yeah, there's so much garlic in these garlic and parsley pills because they're really good and they're really strong. You will smell like garlic for like a couple of days. I mean, yeah, we all smell. We're like, who smells? Like, I'm showered, but do you smell it? No, I don't. We all smelled. It was weird. And we're like, what the heck is it? It's the garlic. Yeah. So adding these things to your diet would be a great idea. But one of my favorite things to do just for proper nutrition, to make sure your immune system's functioning and good gut health is when you break your fast in the morning, which is why it's called breakfast, break fast, right? Do it with a high quality protein, not with cereal, not with yogurt. Yogurt is nothing more than dessert, guys, right? I mean, it tastes good and everybody's like, oh, it's good for your gut. Nah, not really. No. Let's do something actually good for you. That's not going to cause inflammation and have problems and inflammation in the gut and ruin your immune system. We use high quality protein, and it's from cows. So what kind of cows do we want our milk from and our dairy from? Grass-fed or corn-fed? Grass-fed, because these are the healthy cows. Again, I get into that other workshop. But you want to make sure that if you're going to use a protein, it's from grass-fed cows. Very important, because if it's not, do not drink it. You want to make sure there's no sucralose in it. Most of the ones that are out there, they're sweetened with sucralose. Make sure it's sweetened with something else, like ours is sweetened with stevia. You also, this is one that really sets ours apart, which I love. It is not heat pasteurized. So if you pasteurize it through heat, what did you just do to all the enzymes and all the proteins? You killed them. You denature the proteins, you kill the enzymes, so it's no longer bioactive. You want your protein to be bioactive, means relatively alive, that your body can actually use it. Ours is cold filtered, not cold filtered, but cold pasteurized. So that makes ours, I mean, it's pretty amazing stuff. It's got probiotics in it. It's sweetened with stevia. It's 100% grass-fed, and lots of potassium in there as well, which helps lose a lot of the inflammation in our body. So awesome stuff. This is why I make these smoothies every morning with our protein. Oh, I guess I already talked about this. But remember, you are what your food ate before you ate it. Yep. So you want to eat the healthy cow, not the big fat sick cow that's full of chemicals, right? Yeah. So just remember what the quality of the food that they're being fed, that's what the quality of the meat that you're going to eat. Okay. So we have two ways of doing this. We have the core nutrition plan, and we have what's called the advanced nutrition plan. I think that the core nutrition plan is the easiest to implement for anybody. This is great for families. This is great for health maintenance. It should be, we just don't do anything other than this. Like, it shouldn't be, you don't ever go under this. This should be your minimum standard when it comes to nutrition. So what does this mean? We're going to eat more high quality fats. So we're going to use lots of olive oil when we're making dressings. We're going to eat lots of nuts and seeds. We're going to eat grass-fed beef and organic chicken and grass-fed salmon. That'd be weird, right? I had a patient, one of our assistants she's like, we have grass-fed chicken. I was like,
No, it was grass-fed turkey.
oh, it was grass-fed turkey. Yes, that was pretty funny. No, wild-caught fish. So you want to make sure you're improving the quality of the ingredients that you're using. So like we did this the other night at our our dinner, the recipe night. We talked about perfecting your proteins, making sure they're high quality. We are going to curb the carbs. What does that mean? Less carbohydrates, less sugars. And when you do eat carbs, make sure they're complex carbs, like the brown rice instead of white rice, quinoa. What else? Sweet potatoes instead of white potatoes. It's not whole grain or Ezekiel bread instead of white bread. You make those changes, we're going to be healthier. Your gut's going to be happier. Your immune system is going to be stronger. Then we're going to also trash the toxins, meaning just reading. That really comes down to reading your labels. You read your labels and it has BHT, all these things. You're like, put it back. I don't want that stuff in my body. Okay. So this is something that everybody should be doing. Now, if you really want to short-term weight loss, you want to lose some weight, you have a lot of inflammation, your body is not functioning as well as it should, you have major health issues, you would want to be on what's called the Max Living Advanced Plan. So take the core plan, and we're going to make a few small changes. First change is we're going to eat even more fat. We're going to up the fat, we're going to lower the protein a little bit, but we're going to get rid of all the carbohydrates. Okay, so no grains whatsoever. That means also very, very little fruit. So the only fruit that you should be eating on this plan is grapefruit, green apples, berries, and actually kiwi. Learned that yesterday. Love kiwi. I had an assistant once who ate kiwi like an apple. I'm like, you're supposed to peel that. She goes, I don't care. Okay. I couldn't imagine how you could hairy thing. No thanks. No thanks. So if you ever need help with these things, we've done it 100 times. You can ask us for help. We're here to support you. But there are some immune boosting vitamins I think would be important to add to our regimen if we're really trying to boost our immune system. So let's go through a couple. Number one is always going to be vitamin D. Now, vitamin D is supposed to be what? Free? Yeah. Where do we get vitamin D from? The sun. I mean, how amazing is our body can synthesize vitamin D inside of our body by getting sun rays on it? I mean, think about that for a second. That is cool. And your immune system cannot function without vitamin D. Vitamin D actually activates your immune system. And most people, I think it was 40%, maybe it's not most, but a lot, 40% of people in America are vitamin D deficient. That is a problem. No wonder everybody's immune systems aren't functioning. Why is everybody getting sick, expressing symptoms, right? Because their vitamin D levels are low. So we're going into what they call, I'm going to do this again, cold and flu season. You know why I put that in air quotes? Because it's not real. It's not real. The cold and flu don't go north during the summer and they come south during the winter. Right? Oh, they're coming. We see them coming. I mean, the Weather Channel telling you they're coming. Oh, it's flu. They actually do. I think they have maps about the flu, right? It doesn't come and go. It's always here. What season we're really going into is it's getting darker sooner. It's getting colder. So are we having more or less sun time? Less. So our vitamin D levels are going to start to go down, which means our immune system is going down. Oh, we're getting close to the holidays. Everybody getting a little stressed? I don't know why we do, but we do. So now what does stress do to our immune system? It goes down further. I'm just going to have one cookie at Thanksgiving. I'm going to have one piece of pie. Oh, man, I ate the whole thing, right? We eat more sugar than ever in the next 2 months coming up. So let's see. Sugar, stress, lack of vitamin D season is what it should be called. And that's what it did. What did it do? It tanked your immune system and allowed your environment got dirty and the opportunistic cold and flu took over. And that's what's going on. So less sugar, less stress, more vitamin D. Not hard to do. So how much vitamin D should you be taking? At a minimum, on a maintenance dose, 5,000 international units a day. If you can find a good vitamin D that has also probiotics in it, take that one. Because probiotics at the same time, one, it's good for your gut, it's good for your immune system, but when you take vitamin D with a probiotic, it actually exponentiates the absorption of the vitamin D. Pretty cool. And if you don't, this chart right here is pretty interesting. This is vitamin D levels. So at the very top, you'll see vitamin D level 6, 8, 10, all the way up to 68. So if you have your blood taken and see what your level is. If you're below 20, that's this range right here, you have a 99% chance of getting rickets, which is bone disease. Is anybody worried about rickets? No. So I don't care so if you get it at 22, your doctor's like, you're in the normal range. I don't want to be in the normal range because if I'm here in the middle of normal, look what other things I can get. Cancers, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, colon cancer, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. It just keeps going. So the study shows that if you're basically in the bottom third of what they call normal, you have increased your rate of death by 23% from any disease. So what's the easiest thing to do? Take vitamin D, right? I want my levels up here where there's no more color because that's where my immune system is functioning the best. So everybody should be taking vitamin D unless you're outside in the sun. Yes, Barbara?
What about prescription grade vitamin D at 60,000?
Yep.
Whatever.
Yep. So let me answer that. It's funny. I thought about that this morning. So those people that have been prescribed high doses like that, so that'd be 10 days worth of 5,000 IU like we have here at the office. If you have that, I want to read the label.
It is. I asked about this. Yeah.
What you did?
I can't
It would-
get you the prescription because it's a prescribed.
Right. So we would have to find the name. We could look it up online
Okay.
because every single one I have found, either one of two things is going on. Either it's vitamin D2, which is toxic, which should never be prescribed, but it is for some reason, or it is vitamin D3 with all kinds of different colorings and other stuff in there that you do not want in your body. So yeah, so if you want to rate, if you're already low, you can take 3 or 4 of our vitamin D3s, which is 5,000 a piece. So if you take 20,000 for a couple of weeks, it's going to go back up, and then you maintain it there with one of ours a day. Not hard to do. Yep, and it's not a prescription, and it's not got anything in there that you don't want. Yeah. Okay. So vitamin C. Vitamin C is another really good one. Studies are showing that when you supplement with high doses of vitamin C, it reduces duration of illness by 17%. This is why everybody knows vitamin C, right? Just take the vitamin C, take the vitamin C. We can get it through, again, citrus fruit, which is great. You should be doing that on a daily basis. Cherries, oranges, strawberries, and tomatoes. But they actually increase the production of white blood cells. Again, this is going to help your body fight better. So should we be waiting until we don't feel well to start taking this stuff? No, because that's reactive. We don't want to be reactive. We want to be proactive. So I would start this now, start taking some of this stuff. Zinc. What about zinc? What does zinc do? So proper high quality zinc, which is chelated zinc, which means it's very easy for your body to absorb, has been shown to reduce the duration of quote unquote illness by 33%. So again, why would we not want to do that? The vitamin zinc actually activates enzymes that break down proteins in the viruses and bacteria, so they're less able to spread. Now, do you want to just take any zinc? No. You want to take zinc that's chelated. Like I said, it's easier to absorb. You also want to take it with molybdenum and taurine. It's molybdenum. Get all that? Get our zinc. It's in there. Our zinc is actually formulated so it's able to. Is that still working? Okay. So it's actually just easier to absorb the molybdenum and the taurine. Yep. All right. Next up is elderberry and echinacea. So elderberry, did you guys all get your elderberry shots here tonight? Yes. So elderberry is really good to help you not get the quote unquote seasonal cold or allergies. And so really what it does, it helps you get through these transition seasons. So going between summer and winter, well, I mean, summer is the only one we actually know what season it is in Atlanta, right? Everything else is like, oh, it's summer, it's winter. I don't know what day, yeah. So when you have those transition times, elderberry is a good time to take it. You don't need to take it during the summer. I don't usually take it during the winter. It's those transitions, when it's getting cold and then when it's getting hot again, okay? So you can make your own syrup. You can buy the stuff online. That's not, I mean, I've done it at my house. We have a gal up in Ball Ground that makes it, it's all organic. She uses local honey. So there's a little bit of sugar in there, but the local honey actually helps with allergies. So it's pretty cool and it tastes really good. But this is the last one I'm going to show you here tonight, and this is my new favorite. It's called Pro NAC. Please call it Pro NAC, not Pro NAC. I want my patients to sound educated. Pro NAC, because NAC stands for N-acetyl-L-cysteine. You don't need to know all that. Just NAC is fine, okay? So what does NAC do? So studies came out a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago when COVID was at its peak, about glutathione. Everybody, does anybody know what glutathione is? Have you guys heard this before? Yes, no, still sleeping? Okay. So glutathione is the most powerful antioxidant known to man, and it's made inside of our body. And the studies were showing that people who had the higher glutathione levels were the people that were not getting COVID. And if they did get COVID, they barely ever got it. So what did everybody do? They went and bought glutathione. We sold glutathione. We saw a lot of it and helped a lot of people. But what they realized was glutathione doesn't actually pass your blood-brain barrier, because there's a barrier between your blood and your brain. and your brain needs glutathione also. And glutathione itself does not go through. So if you were to supplement with glutathione, you're kind of leaving out your brain. So what they realized was N-acetyl-L-cysteine is the precursor to glutathione. So if you were to take something like this, your body takes that and makes glutathione with it. And NAC goes past the blood-brain barrier to your brain. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah. What's also interesting about it, 9 months ago, 12 months ago, you couldn't buy it. They were taking it off the shelves. Why were they taking it off the shelves? Because it was helping people. God forbid something other than the shot help people. And right now, we're like one of the only places that still has it. It's disgusting what they're doing, but we do have it. We have a lot of it, and we keep buying it because it's that important. I think this is one of the most powerful things that has come into our life lately when it comes to supplements. Look at all the things it can do. And not only is it an antioxidant in itself, it scavenges free radicals, protects dopamine receptors in your brain. So it can actually help people with brain health, cognition, memory, mood, anxiety, depression, and irritability. I think all of us need that, right? It decreases the chance of getting the flu and cold-like symptoms, inhibits virus replication. It actually breaks up mucus in your lungs. So when people are congested, I tell them to take a lot of it, and guess what? They come back the next day going, I already noticed a difference. I mean, I had some people that had coughs. They were for like 2 weeks, and then they started taking that, and they're like, it was like night and day. Big differences. So how much of this should you be taking? Well, with our stuff, I recommend 1 a day as a preventative. And did we give them the sheets? So, oh, I have it here. So we've actually put these together for you. Yeah. Yeah. Little immune, so kind of Whitney did this for you guys to show you what to take, when to take it, and how much to take of it. So for NAC, if you want to be in the immune boost, which everybody should be on right now, it'd be 1 of those a day. If you've been exposed to somebody, let's say some of your house is expressing symptoms, or somebody at work, or people at school not feeling so hot, you want to boost your immune system a little bit more, you take 3. And if you yourself are not feeling well, something's going on, you're starting to feel like something's happening, take 5. Okay, because you want to do whatever you can as quickly as you can to get over that. It tells you about the zinc, the vitamin C complete, and then the pro NAC and the vitamin D. So as you can see with the vitamin D, you can take 9 of those a day. What's that doing to your vitamin D levels? Super spike. Okay, that's a good thing. But you should be taking all these all the time so that we don't have these problems in the first place. So what we have done, we try to make this easy for you guys. We made a bundle for you here tonight. So when you guys come to my office for workshops, we always like to reward you. Any supplement you want is 10% off. But if you're going to get a bundle, the bundle has the vitamin C, the vitamin D, has the zinc, the NAC, and a bottle of the protein. We're doing that bundle for those of you that are here for 20% off tonight. Okay? And then for the people at home that are watching, we're going to offer you 10% off for that bundle. So if you're watching this at home, which I know we have a bunch of people at home watching right now, text 770-345-9355, text the word bundle, and we'll mark down that you want the bundle, and you'll get 10% off when you come back to the office. Okay? All right. Getting close, guys. All right, let's talk about exercise. Why is exercise important? Because I said so? Yeah? No, when we exercise, yes? It can increase bone density. Very good. What does it do to our blood? It gets it moving. So if I have white blood cells and I'm not moving, I sit all day for a living, do you think, I mean, they're pumping through, but are they pumping through as well as they could? No. So when we're exercising, we're flooding our body. We're making everything move. There's no stagnation. That's very important. So we need to make sure that we are moving and exercising. So again, circulating the white blood cells. And the way we do this in our office is we do the Max T3 program. Raise your hand if you've done the Max T3 workouts. Okay, raise your hand if you've not done the Max T3 workouts. Wow, most of you. Why didn't your hand go for either of them? So that's a no. Oh, nice. So it's a little different than what we do here. So if you have not done the Max T3 program, I would highly suggest trying it out. If you are a patient, you already have access to it. It's on your little bookmark that we gave you when you first started care. If you are not a patient or not a patient yet, you can go to maxt3.com and sign up there. It's very cheap to do so. But these programs are designed for getting maximum oxygen to your body, because oxygenated cells do not become cancer cells. All right, we're also burning fat because fat harbors toxins and all kinds of other things we want to get rid of. So the cool thing about these workouts is after one 12-minute workout, which is how long they last, you actually burn fat for 36 hours after one workout, which is why you don't have to do it every day. You can if you want to, be an overachiever, but we work out 36 minutes a week as a team. Caitlin, how do you love the workouts? No, it's a trap. So here's the thing, and I'm on Caitlin's side here. I don't love to work out. I'll be honest, it's not my favorite thing to do, but I do it anyway. You know why? Because it's one of the 5 essentials. If I want to be healthy, I can't do the 4 I think are fun. I can't do the 3 that are easy. I have to do all 5 essentials. So I do it. And here's the good news. It doesn't take an hour. You don't have to have a gym. I don't want to say it's not hard because it's not extremely hard, but the fact is it's almost over when you start. That's my favorite part. As soon as you start, you're almost done. I'm like, all right, good. Light at the end of the tunnel. But you do it, and guess what? You have more energy.
If you guys ever get bored, you're welcome to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here at 11:15.
Yep. My sweat mark's right here. Georgie's is over there. Whitney, Caitlin. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So she can't see. Yeah. Okay. So make sure you are working out, though. It's very important to do so. If you want to learn more about that, we have another workshop, the Exercise 101 workshop on YouTube that goes through the science behind it, how it all works. And I actually give you a walkthrough on how to use the website and which ones to start with. But we've been talking about the immune system. We've been talking about viruses, but we all want to be healthy. Raise your hand if you want to be healthy. Yeah, everybody wants to be healthy. The problem is most people don't know what that actually means. Because everybody thinks I'm healthy when I feel what? Good. I feel good means I'm healthy. Again, that is that wrong paradigm. It's the wrong way of thinking. Because health has nothing to do with how you feel. In fact, I'm going to do this again because I want you guys to remember this. The true definition of health is right there in the word. Health has nothing to do with how you feel. It has everything to do with how you what? Heal. That means we need to be focusing on what? Healing, not feeling. Because when you have a fever, do you feel good? But are you healing good? When you're throwing up, the worst sensation in the world for me, right? Nobody wants to throw up. Do I feel good? No. Am I healing good? Yes. I know it's bad English, but I'm using it anyway. Okay, because it's my point. We need to be focusing on healing and function. Because how do you know if you're healthy? Well, if your body's healing at 100% the way God designed you to heal and function, how much cancer can that person get? How much heart disease can that person get? How much COVID can that person get? 0. Because their body is designed to heal itself. Well, remember, the body's always doing the right thing at the right time. This is our goal. Who wants to heal and function as close to 100% as possible? Then do the 5 essentials. What have you been waiting for? We all want it, right? We all want to be healthy. Everybody wants to be healthy. I've already told you what you need to do. It's just about actually going ahead and doing it. Because here's the trap, okay? We've talked about this at our doctor's report. 100% life, we're healthy and well. Here's 0% life, that person has no more life, right? If a spider bites this guy, what happens? This guy, oh, you were looking down, yes. It gets red, it gets pussy, it gets hot and nasty, right? Spider bites this one, what happens? Nothing, because there's no more life to react to the spider venom, right? Here's the problem. Most people wait until we have a symptom to take care of their problem. You have to lose 40% of the function in a body part before a symptom even shows up, and most of us live here in the trap zone. Because you'll come to me to start care because you're down here and you hurt. Something hurts. My back hurts. I have a headache, neck pain. I don't feel good, whatever it is. And you just want to be right here. And so you get there, you feel better, and you think you're good. You mistake that for being here. You think you're here when I know you're right there. And what happens if you stop taking care of yourself right there? You're back here again. And then you just keep coming back and keep coming back. It's like, no, that's not our goal here. Our goal is to help change people's lives by helping people get healthy and keep people healthy by living all 5 essentials. So don't get caught in the trap of, I feel good, I don't need to go this week. Don't ever do that. Because it's not about that. You know, do you feel your engine starting to break down and go, oh, it's time for an oil change? Nobody? Okay, nobody did it? Good, okay. That's a good thing. Usually I have one person like looking at their wife going, did you? Had that before. Oh, mom did that? Oh boy, that's why in the shop for a month? All right. So again, so what controls all functions and all healing in our body? It comes back down to the nervous system. This is where God put the power that created every single one of us. And in order for that power to get to our body, to tell our body how to function, it has to travel down the spinal cord, out along your nerves, to every single cell, tissue, and organ in your entire body. So as we all sit here right now, for our heart to beat and our lungs to breathe, to digest the food, the information has to come out of the brain, down the spinal cord, out along your nerves to tell it how to function properly. No interference. Remember, your body needs no help. It just needs no what? Interference. No interference means our body's healing and functioning the way it's supposed to, which means you are now what? Healthy. What if you're subluxated? If you're subluxated, can you still feel good? The answer is yes. Are you healing well? No. What's the only way to know if you're subluxated? Go to the chiropractor. Don't wait until you're here. I want to know if I'm subluxated here and I didn't even know it. How many times have I adjusted you guys and you're like, I didn't know that hurt. I didn't know I needed to adjust it there. Every time, right? Because I'm detecting subluxations before you're feeling them. Thank God. If you, I mean, imagine you hurt every time you came here. That'd be bad. Yeah. So that subluxations are what cause us to lose our health. The misalignments cause us to lose our health, choking off life to the body. Again, the body needs no help. It needs no interference. There was a study done, this is back in the 70s, Ron Perro, the PhD, Chief of Cancer Medicine at the New York's Preventative Medicine Institute. He did a study comparing the immune systems of people who are quote unquote healthy compared to people who are under chiropractic care for at least 5 years. And those people that were getting adjusted regularly for 5 years, their immune system was 200% greater than those people who thought they were healthy but never went to the chiropractor. So for those of you that have been coming for a while now, congratulations. You are now healthier than any of your friends. Pretty awesome, right? Don't you think your friends need to know about this though? I mean, think about this. How many people out there don't know the stuff you're learning here tonight? They're still watching the news. They're still putting masks on. They're still worried about everything. And they're not doing anything good for themselves. They're just waiting for them to be them because it's a victim thing, right? Oh, woe is me. I'm the one that's going to get sick versus, you know what? Why don't we do something about it? Why don't we be proactive? Why don't we do something different? So if you were to call my office and Caitlin answers the phone and you say, I'm not feeling good, I need to cancel my appointment, what do you think Caitlin's going to tell you? Nope. Get your butt in here. Why would she say that? Because we understand this. This was research done here in Atlanta. HIV positive patients revealed that the research was done on them that revealed those people who received chiropractic care showed a 48% increase in CD4 immune system white blood cells compared to those that did not receive chiropractic care at all. CD4 cells are your immune system. So if you're not feeling well, you're expressing symptoms. That's what we call this. When you're not feeling well, you're expressing a symptom. You should call and say, I'm expressing a symptom. I need to get an extra adjustment. Please schedule me today and tomorrow. Why? Because when I adjust you, what are we doing to your immune system? We're increasing it. We're improving it. So it shouldn't be, I don't want to get anybody sick. Oh my gosh, please don't ever say it to us. Okay? Because we're going to tell you to get your butt in here anyway. And if it's something that you have a thing about, I will close the office at 11 and I'll have you come in by yourself. I don't care. Okay? Because it's more important that you get healthy than for you to stay away. So what are some warning signs that your body is not healing, is not functioning? You might be subluxated. Well, we have the headache, neck pain, back pain, those types of things. But I have some patients that have had some really crazy things happening with them. And just because they had a friend who had some crazy things get really a whole lot better here in our office, they decided to come and get checked out. And it wasn't about back pain, neck pain, or headaches. And I have a story here I'm going to show you here in a second. But if you have a friend that you want to get checked, this is the time to do it. So I want everybody to pull this out right here, this little sheet that we gave you. Oh yeah, half and half. Sweet. I bet everybody in this room could think of at least one person that you wish was here right now that needs to hear this information, that has never been checked for subluxation. Their kids are always sick. They're always sick. They're on 7 medications. They're not living as healthy as they should. Can anybody think of 1, 2, 25? Yeah. Everybody we know needs to be here. Here's what I'm asking you to do. This week is our Friends and Family Week. We're extending it to next week as well. because we want to help as many people as possible. What Friends and Family Week is, it's a great opportunity for you to help a friend or a family member get a checkup at a reduced rate. So instead of 120 for our typical exam and x-rays, we do it for 60. So what I'd love for you to do is write down a name of somebody that you think should be here. You write down their phone number, and here's what we're going to do. We're not going to call them. We're not salespeople. You're going to call them. Tell them a little bit about what you learned here tonight, and say, I would love for you to listen to this doc, get a checkup, and see how well your body is healing and functioning, because I bet you he could help. I've had 3 amazing new patients this week that their lives are forever going to be different because somebody like you told them about us. And after one adjustment, they're already like mind blown. And we need more of that. So I have a video, I hope this works, of one of these patients that she had her first re-exam? Is that like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Amazing story.
Back to the cards though. After
Oh.
you tell them all the amazing things and you get the thumbs up, then I am going to call them.
Yes. So just let Whitney know if you called them and when you call them, so then we can call them and get them scheduled. But we're not going to cold call. Okay. So let's see if this works.
Melissa, and I came to Dr. Moss's office a few months ago because a friend of mine had great success here, and I had back pain most of my life. I've had a back surgery and several injuries, and so I thought, well, if it worked for her, then maybe it'll work for me. I've been in a chiropractor probably for 3 years with very unsuccessful results, temporary pain relief. So when I came here, I had the x-rays done and found out that not only could Dr. Moss help me with my back pain, but he was reading my mail as he was looking at my spine. And he asked me, do you have heart problems or heart palpitations? How's your blood pressure? All these things that I was taking medications for, had no idea that it would be affected by chiropractic care. So within the first 2 to 3 weeks of being seen, I no longer had any migraines. My blood pressure went back to normal, and I was able to stop all of my medications, which included a beta blocker for heart palpitations, which I no longer have, blood pressure medication because my blood pressure is back to normal, and even my allergy medication, I no longer need allergy medicine, even during the fall right now, which is the worst allergy season for me. I no longer need nasal sprays or allergy medicines. So I came in here thinking I was going to get adjusted, maybe have less back pain, and ended up feeling totally renewed. I went right away and watched the metabolic class and started on the advanced plan, and I lost 13 pounds within the first 3 to 4 weeks. And so I'm really excited about the changes that I feel. Even my knees no longer hurt. Going up and down steps was becoming hard for me to do. And little things that I didn't even realize, I've been so used to dealing with the pain. I never realized that I was struggling with so many little issues until they went away. And then all of a sudden you realize, wow, I don't have to live like this any longer. So I'm really excited about the future. I know that each week as it goes by, I feel better and better. So you'll have to check back with me in a few more months to see where I am then. But I just want to thank the staff and Dr. Moss for showing me how to become healthy and feel good again.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, that is fantastic. And the crazy thing about that is I didn't do anything different than I do for any of you. I found her subluxations. I corrected the subluxations, and she healed herself. That's the only way it ever works. And, patients will say, you healed me. Mm-mm. I don't take credit for that because I don't heal. God heals. That's the only way it ever works. All right, I got just a few more minutes, and we're going to be done. Okay, I touch upon a couple other things here. Toxins. So toxins can absolutely destroy your immune system. Look, I mean, these are just some of the symptoms of you have an issue with your detoxification system. Loss of energy, memory loss, depression, anxiety, restlessness, restless leg syndrome, nervousness, allergies, insomnia, frequent colds. These are all signs that there's something toxic in your body. What is going on? And where are we getting these toxification? Where are we getting toxified? It's our environment. Our environment is toxic. I mean, again, lead, mercury, radon, that's just some of it. Pesticides, herbicides, personal care products. I mean, you just go on and on and on. I didn't want to spend too much time on this because we just did a workshop on this not too long ago. So again, YouTube, go to our watch our I don't remember what we called it. It was a detoxification workshop maybe a couple months ago. Maybe we went into depth about what to do and how to make changes. But a couple of things. Has anybody here not heard of the EWG? Raise your hand if you've not heard of the EWG. Okay, so I want you guys to write this down, ewg.org. It is a fantastic nonprofit database that you can use to check the safety of chemicals that you probably have in your house. So you can check cleaners, all right? You can check sunscreen. You can check your deodorant. You can check your moisturizer, your shampoo, conditioner. Anything that has a chemical in it, it should be in this database, and it gives it a grade, 1 through 10. Anything 4 or over should not be in your house anymore, okay? So imagine how much of this stuff we don't even realize, and we're putting it on our skin, our largest organ. It's seeping into our bloodstream, and we wonder why we're sick. We wonder why our body's not healthy. So we need to pay attention to, again, this is that 5th essential, the minimizing our exposure to toxins. We talked a little bit about antibacterial soap earlier, but bacteria is good. We're supposed to have bacteria on our skin. So why are we using antibacterial soap all the time? Why are we using hand sanitizer all the time? I don't have any hand sanitizer. We shouldn't be using that. You're supposed to have bacteria. Wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. You know, wash your hands when they're dirty. But washing your hands and sanitizing every 2 minutes is ridiculous. Okay, do not do that. What about what's in a vaccination? What's in a vaccine? You guys know what's in it? If you don't know what's in it, why are we getting it punctured into our skin and not asking questions, right? Again, I mean, I'm going to be the medical doctor's worst patient. I'm also the car salesman's worst customer. I know more than they do. They don't like that. Yes, I get the best deal. But when it comes to vaccines, you ask the questions. You're allowed to ask questions. And if they get defensive, get up and leave. If they don't, because the only reason why they're getting defensive is because you're asking them and they don't want to be questioned. And when they start getting questioned, they get upset. Guys, how many times have I told you, ask me questions? I get offended when you're not asking me questions, because you know why? What that means to me is you no longer care about you and your health. If you're asking me questions, that means you're engaged with your health, you're taking responsibility, and I'm here to help guide you. I want you asking questions. I would never get defensive about a question. But in a vaccine, just to name a couple things, aluminum, formaldehyde, mercury, polysorbate 80, detergent, no big deal. A lot of times they're grown on dead fetuses, egg embryo, chicken embryos. Like, what? And you're allowing them to put that right into your skin? Why would we ever let them do that? Again, this is one of my main problems with this. It's just full of chemicals. And the reason why they put those chemicals in there is when they put a dead or a very weakened virus in there, they didn't get much of a reaction. So they want your immune system to react to it. So what they do, they put heavy metals in there, which your body's gonna go, what the hell are you doing? Oh my God, let's freak out and go after it. And then they go, oh, hey guys, some dead viruses here. Let's make some B cells for that. But that aluminum that goes in it doesn't come out. All right, it's in there. It's bad. So we just need to ask questions. Now here's something I want you guys to all understand about me and how we practice here. We are not here to judge anybody. So if you come in and tell me you got a vaccine, I might ask you some questions about how do we come to that decision. I'm not going to judge you. That's not my job. Okay, I love you either way. Now some people here got a vaccine, they wish they hadn't. That's okay too. I can help you detox from it as much as I can. Okay, we can't go backwards though, so don't feel bad. But I only ask my patients to please do your research. Okay. I have one last video for you. This is going to talk about stress and what it does to your immune system. It's going to make a lot of sense.
We now understand that there's a complex biochemical link between stress, the immune system, and illness. When we're stressed, the brain causes the release of chemicals which go through the bloodstream and activate the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands, in turn, give the body a shot of some very potent hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. Both give us a boost of energy, highly useful for survival. But when the stress is continuous and unremitting, cortisol continues to be released into the bloodstream. One of the side effects of cortisol is to suppress the activity of our immune system, leaving us vulnerable to infection and disease. Lower the stress, and you lower the risk of infection.
So more stress equals worse immune function. And it's kind of funny that over the past 2 years, everything they've told us to do was depressing our immune system. Live in fear, stay away from everybody, isolate yourself, right? Wear masks, cover your face, don't travel, stay home. All those things did was depress your immune system further. They know what they're doing, because if they really cared, what would they tell you to do? Take vitamin D, take vitamin C, take zinc, take NAC, get adjusted, eat healthy, get outside and get fresh air, get exercise. But they didn't tell you to do any of those things. They said stay in, stay away, and be scared. I choose faith over fear every day. And I hope you guys do too. So a couple just quick summaries, quick tips. Nutrition, let's get on the core or the advanced plan. Pick one and go with it. Okay? Let's start exercising. If you have never tried the Max T3, I want you to try a Max T3 program, and I'm going to know if you did or not, because it's by how the way you walk. If you come in the next time like this, I know you did it right. Okay? We need to shut the news off. All right? Let's have a better attitude. Let's make sure we're getting our supplements, the proper supplementation. Make your adjustments a priority. If you miss an adjustment, get an extra one. Okay? If you're feeling you're coming down with something, meaning you're starting to express symptoms, you feel like your body needs help fighting, call Caitlin and schedule an extra adjustment. Don't reschedule away from your adjustments. Okay? And for some of you, this sounds like a lot of work, all these changes. And I found this slide and I love it. It's about little steps. Because sometimes that big step is so big, you're not going to take any step. If you take a little step, you can take another little step. You can take another little step. So some of you might be, listen, I want my first step to be, I'm going to change the fats in my house. So if I have canola oil and corn oil and all the other stuff, I'm going to go home, I'm going to throw it away, and then I'm going to replace it with avocado oil and coconut oil. That's this week's step. Great. That wasn't so hard, was it? Next week, when I go shopping, I am out of chicken. I'll make sure I buy organic chicken. What am I going to do next week? Well, I need some ground beef. I'll make sure I get it grass-fed. Little steps. You do 52 little steps. You look back in a year, you're going to be at the top of that ladder. But here's a very important thing about this. And this is one of my favorite quotes from Abraham Lincoln, who said, I may walk slowly, but I never walk backward. So once you take that step, don't go back down. You're only going forward. Again, so if we have, again, friends and family, we want them here. We want to help as many people as possible. So think about those people you want help with and let us know. Turn those cards into either Caitlin or Whitney here tonight. They'll collect them and then contact them and let us know that you did so we can reach out to them and get them scheduled. And I appreciate you guys being here tonight. I hope you guys learned a lot. Get what you need here tonight. Everything's 10% off. And oh, yes, thank you. Thank you. That's what you're here for. Yes, on the back, we do have a couple of events that are coming up. One is first time ever. You guys ready for this? Shop Like the Doc, hosted by Whitney. Yes. So Whitney is going to do what I normally do, which is a shopping tour of Kroger. She's been on enough tours. I fully trust her. She knows what's good and what's not good. She's going to take you on a shopping tour of Kroger so that you can see what you need to get organic, what you don't need to get organic, how to read labels, where to get stuff. If you're going to make a bad choice, how to make the best bad choice there would be. So she's going to go through that. That is on the 29th of October. And then we have our favorite yearly Thanksgiving recipe night coming up. That is on Monday, November 7th. So make sure you sign up for that. We're going to have turkeys and we're going to have a whole big menu of all the recipes that you can use when you make your Thanksgiving dinner as well. And that will be held at Trinity Church on Trinity Church Road. Yes, right around the corner. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you guys learned a lot. I hope you live more in faith than in fear. Yes.